So like last night, I was like in a good mood. I was getting ready to go to sleep, and then I usually just like take a quick glance on YouTube to see if there's any like new news coming out. And I started seeing a bunch of like Amber Heard thumbnails, and there has been a lot of Amber Heard stuff going on with like whether or not they're going to reinvestigate her potentially maybe possibly perjury in Australia, right? And so, but these were different thumbnails, and so it seems like they Amber Heard and her lawyers, they want the judge or the court to do an investigation on one of the jury members, or one of the jurors. Sorry, I don't like that word. It's hard for me to say. Oh yeah, there's some new stuff on the if you go on the Fairfax Circuit Court website, there's some new stuff on there. And I was reading actually something else, and I didn't realize that this right here was going on. I don't even know where to start, but let's start with the easy stuff. We'll start with this right here. I guess it's easy. I share the same sentiment as you. I thought after the trial was gonna be over, I thought she was just gonna kind of just be like, okay, well, fuck, and then just live a quiet life or something. But I mean, I do get it, her and her lawyers. Well, her lawyers are still being paid by her, I would assume. Her lawyers are trying to do everything they can to like try to get like the judgment overturned, or try to have a new trial. I don't even know why they would want to do a new trial all over again. I feel like it would just be such a shit show. It was like such a mess the first time around, I haven't read it yet, and you know what? I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was 1,000,000 pages long. I don't know if I want to read 1,000,000 pages. Oh god, do you guys want to read 1,000,000 pages? This is really long. Maybe I can just jump around or something. Because I do enjoy reading these, but I don't usually read these on stream. I usually just read it, and then like you guys can either fast forward it or you can slow it down if you want to, if it's like a YouTube video. But if I'm doing it live on stream, it's like I can't really read at the pace that you would enjoy it from. Here, let's read law and crime. Let's read the law and crime article so we know what we're looking for, okay? Amber Heard asked Virginia courts to set aside Johnny Depp's $10 million defamation award as excessive and lacking evidence. Okay, so she does not want to pay the $10 million. We already know that. Elaine has already said that she can't afford to pay the $10 million. Okay, so she does not want to pay the $10 million. She's asking Virginia court to like, hey, $10 million is a little bit too excessive, and I feel like Johnny Depp didn't even have that much evidence, compelling evidence. An extensive legal memorandum was filed in Fairfax, Virginia court on Friday, July 1. I didn't see it, but okay. In the 43-page filing, Heard attorney says the massive judge was not supported by the evidence presented during the dramatic 6-week-long trial watched around the world. Specifically, the filing argues there's no evidence of pecuniary damages from the op-ed at the heart of the dispute. Okay, so I'm going to have to Google and look into this later on. But honestly, when I first watched the trial, I was just like, this is going to be really hard for Johnny Depp to prove because, one, it's, people already say it's really hard to prove defamation, but to prove malice behind it, that's really tough, But I think Johnny Depp and his team, I think they did such a good job with it. I think they did a great job at proving that, what Amber Heard was saying were lies. And I think they did a really good job at showing that there was like malice behind it, and they had like all these other witnesses that came in to support that. I thought they did a good job. And of course, I'm not a lawyer or anything. I'm just like a normie, maybe most of you guys here are like non-legal normie people as well. Like, I don't know. I thought they did a good job. I was like, holy crap. I think they did a good job, especially towards like the end of the trial where they were starting to show the malice intent behind it. They had like the TMZ guy who was just like, hey, like this is the procedure when we get a clip in, and if you're the owner of that clip, it goes on TMZ in like 15 minutes. And, I thought they did a really good job at bringing these witnesses in to really show that she did have a lot of malice. She did have some malice behind it, and it was intentional. And, yeah. In my opinion, I think a lot of people, they're like, yeah, Johnny Depp seems cool. But like after Johnny Depp's side presented his case, people were like, okay, what is Amber going to say next? Because you want to listen to like the other side of the story, right? And then when she went up on, on the witness stand, it was just like, I don't know. I think a lot of people just had that gut feeling that things just didn't add up, It felt very contrived, the emotions, and how her on day one seemed very different from day two. So like, I think, I do genuinely think there are a lot of people that were willing to give her a chance. Like, hey, let's see if she could be really compelling on the witness stand. let's see if the things that she say, let's see if they add up, and let's see if there are like, you know, consistencies and stuff like that. Because I already had a little bit like of an iffy feeling because I read some of the court transcripts from the UK trial. So I was like, you know, she was like pretty inconsistent on some stuff. But, you know, maybe like when she's on the US trial, maybe it'll be different. But yeah, it was a lot worse. And I was just like, it just didn't seem believable. And then the more witnesses that came out afterwards, you know, like there were some parts that I initially did think that were believable. Like for example, the James Corden show thing where she was like, she had her hair ripped out, whatever. And she had like, you know, like the makeup person, the hair people to like back her up. I was like, okay, that could have been like a potential incident that might have happened, right? And then the other incident that I was like, oh, maybe happened was maybe the phone incident happened. You know, the cops showed up and stuff. But then like later on, I find out, you know, you find the video for the James Corden taping. You have like for the cell phone incident, no one saw the bruises. The cops came and didn't see the bruises. And it was just like, it was just crazy. It was just like jaw-dropping moments where I was just like, holy shit, like these witnesses are not backing up her story. Like, what is going on? During the trial, Depp argued all jurors believed that the op-ed was about him. The general counsel for the ACLU would later admit that after reading early drafts of the piece, it was clear that it was about Depp. Yeah, the ACLU lawyer, his testimony was like, it was really bad for Amber. It was really, really bad. And I am really happy that Johnny Depp and his counsels were able to get the ACLU to finally be able to testify and provide all the paperwork and stuff. Heard's attorney says the damages Depp claimed for that article that he lost out on the opportunity to reprise his role as pirate Jack Sparrow for the 6th time do not hold up under scrutiny, okay? While Mr. Depp asserted he lost Pirate 6 because of the op-ed, there is no argument. Okay, so we'll take a look at this section then. So they're saying that Depp didn't actually prove that he lost Jack Sparrow role, I guess, because of Amber Heard. Okay. In the memo, Heard claims that Depp did not prove actual malice. No, I think he did. I really think he did. And, you know, just remember, the people that are making this judgment, they're normal people. They're not like law people. So I think it's okay for you and I, you know, who watched the entire trial. I think it's okay for us to make our own judgments because the jury, they're normal people too. They're not like, it's not like the UK trial. They're not like, you know, lawyers or judges or something. Or maybe they are, you know, I don't know. I don't know what they do for their occupation, but they're not like, they're probably not like legal people. So, I don't know. I thought they did a good job at proving that there was malice. All right, in this case, proving actual malice required showing that at the time the op-ed was published, she did not believe she was abused. Okay, so something about the malice, Captain Jack Sparrow. Didn't come off as believable. Okay, so I think the main thing is the Captain Jack Sparrow thing, and they want Juror 15 to be investigated. Okay, all right, let's jump around and we'll look for it in this memo right here. Okay, so defendant and counterclaim plaintiff Amber Heard's post-trial motions. Defendant and counterclaim plaintiff Amber Laura Heard hereby moves this court to set aside the jury's verdict. Oh my gosh. Crazy. I want to see Judge Penny's face when she saw this motion come across her desk. Like, I wonder if she's like, oh God. Or was she just like, ugh, I knew it. They want to set aside the jury's verdict on all 3 counts of plaintiff and counterclaim defendant John C. Depp complaint to dismiss the complaint and to investigate potential improper juror service. Elaine Bretterhoff. Okay, so let's read this part. They're talking about, hey, like, you know, Johnny Depp shouldn't be awarded $10 million because it wasn't actually proven that he lost to Captain Jack Sparrow. I think that's what they're trying to say. Okay, so these are all the other articles. Remember, Amber Heard and her lawyers, they love citing all these magazine articles and stuff like that. So I'm not surprised that this is in here. Mr. Depp admitted that these articles were not because of Ms. Heard's op-ed, they could not have been, but rather all started with Ms. Heard going directly out to court to get a TRO, which is with a bruise on her face and the paparazzi. This is sort of the beginning of the ball rolling down the hill and gaining momentum. After 6 weeks of trial, Mr. Depp went back up on the stand and reiterated his testimony to the jury, stating that Ms. Heard's action on May 27, 2016 changed everything. He again did not state it was the op-ed that damaged him, but the accusations from May 2016 claiming that I have spoken up for what I've been carrying on my back reluctantly for 6 years. And these numbers right here are probably just referring to like the transcripts. Mr. Depp did not only rely on his own testimony to claim damages from May 2016 forward, Doug Banya, an expert hired by Mr. Depp, was asked to analyze the impact of the allegations of domestic abuse made by Ms. Heard as it relates to her 2016 restraining order, and then asked also to analyze the publication of the alleged abuse in her 2018 Washington op-ed. Mr. Banya testified that his analysis shows that prior to 2016, the abuse allegations, Mr. Depp was not portrayed in a negative connotation. And then after the 2016 mark, the majority of the results turned into negative things about the abuse allegations, and then even more so the op-ed. There seemed to be kind of a theme of flavor of not only the abuse allegation, but his drinking and drug use. But Mr. Banya admitted that his analysis cannot separate out how Mr. Depp's reputation was impacted from the op-ed versus how it was impacted when Ms. Heard filed for divorce. This means, as Mr. Banya admitted, that Mr. Depp's expert cannot say that Mr. Depp's reputation or public image was affected by the op-ed. In fact, Mr. Banya testified that Mr. Depp's Q scores, both positive and negative, actually improved after Ms. Heard's op-ed. Q scores are weird, right? Is it like the lower the Q score, the better it is? Is it like inverse relationship? Finally, Mr. Depp's counsel improperly emphasized to the jury that it could find damages based on Ms. Heard obtaining the DVTRO, that's the restraining order. Counsel began Mr. Depp's closing argument not by discussing the op-ed, but by stating on May 27, 2016, Ms. Heard walked to the courthouse in Los Angeles, California to get a no-notice ex parte. That means Johnny Depp doesn't have to be there, and it's an emergency restraining order against Mr. Depp. And in doing so, ruined his life by falsely telling the world that she was a survivor of domestic abuse. All right, do we get any more Jack Sparrow stuff? I was like, Elaine, I thought she was giving interviews and stuff. Where'd she go? She's too busy writing this million pages essay. There's another thing that they submitted too, but that was just it was just long because of the transcripts. Improper juror service. The court should conduct an investigation. Okay, so page 40. On the weekends, I'm not really always on the internets and stuff, so if you guys know something, can you guys post in my Discord? That's where I get some of the updates. Thank you. He didn't lose the pirates until her op-ed. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought that remember there was that article that came out a couple days after Amber Heard's op-ed where the studio head, one of the top execs at Disney, was like, oh yeah, we're going in a different direction. That was a couple days after the op-ed. And then I think the UK trial, when Johnny Depp, when they ruled in favor of the Sun magazine, that was when he lost Fantastic Beasts, right? The court should investigate whether Juror 15, do you guys remember who Juror 15 was? Was that the one that they said was an Asian American, 40 years old, who showed a lot of emotions and was definitely anti Amber Heard? Is that Juror 15 or is that someone else? On the juror panel list sent to the council before Vaudear, the court noted the individual who would later be designated Juror 15 had a birth year of 1945. Juror 15, however, wait, 1945? Oh my god, that's my mom's turning 60 next year? 1945. Oh my god, it's pretty old. 70s, right? Juror 15, however, was clearly born later than 1945. Publicly available information demonstrates that he appears to have been born in 1970. The discrepancy raises the question whether Juror 15 was actually received a summons for jury duty and was properly vetted by the court to serve on the jury. Wait, are they saying that the court didn't do a good job at vetting the juror? Don't they have to do an ID check and stuff like that? You get the letter, you do the ID check, you make sure your birth date matches with the letter. Isn't there a whole check process, dude, that you think you have to do? Dude was fucking old. Yeah, 1945, that's it's way before my mom. I wonder if that's my grandparents' age. No, that's older than my grandparents, I think. At the time of the assembly of the purpose of juror selection, the identity of each member of the jury veneer shall be verified as provided in this section. Prior to being selected as a jury, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, veneer? Prior to being selected from the jury, Prior to being selected from the jury, a potential juror shall verify his identity by presenting this person taking jury attendance in any of the following forms, blah, 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 so social security card, ID. Did they not do that? I find it very hard to believe that they didn't do that. Not that it's impossible to slip through the cracks, but dude, that's a huge age difference. It's not oh, I'm Asian, I'm using my Asian friend's ID to pretend to be her. This is a 20-year age difference. Or, well, I think that they're gonna do some other crazy stuff. If this gets approved or whatever, they're gonna be oh, well, now Amber can have a fair trial because everyone already knows about it. I don't know. There's just so many things that's just so many things that are possibly in the works, right? But I mean, this is the job of her lawyers. They're supposed to do stuff like this. So anyways, thus the court clerk's office had a statutory obligation to verify the identity of Juror 15. But because Juror 15 was not born in 1945, it appears his identity could not have been verified. I don't know. If I'm just looking, if I'm zooming out, take your fingers and zoom out really quick. It's how many people have they blamed so far? It's oh, Let's blame the court stenographer. Maybe she was, on Team Depp, and maybe she's gonna fudge the transcript. Oh, let's blame the juror 15. Oh, let's blame Depp's lawyers. Let's blame the Johnny Depp supporters or people that believe Johnny Depp. Let's blame the judge. Let's blame the court system. We're just gonna blame. This is wild. This is crazy. But again, like, I'm not a lawyer or anything, so this is probably just like normal process stuff, I guess. When you really you find everything you can. You leave no stone unturned. You find anything you can to kind of either have like a redo trial or to lessen the severity of your sentencing, I guess. It appears his identity could not have been verified through any of the means of identification the code provides, and also raises questions about whether and how Juror 15 could have signed a statement affirming, under penalty of perjury, that he was the named juror if he was 25 years younger. 25! That is a lot of years than the person the court recognized as Juror 15. To the extent the individual who served as Juror 15 was not, in fact, the same individual on the Venoir, and that the court clerk's office did not verify his identify, Ms. Heard's due process was compromised. The Virginia Code does not contemplate jury service by someone not on the Venoir for good reason. But in any case, in any case, especially a high-profile case such as this one, it is critical to ensure that no person who is not on the Venoir is able to serve on jury, whether by inadvertence or intention. I've never served on jury duty before. Have you guys? Have you guys served on jury duty before? I know you get a summons, you show up, and it's you and a bunch of other people, and they kind of just like ask a bunch of questions. You're supposed to answer honestly based on the questions you answer. You like put your hands up, put your hands down, whatever. That's how they kind of like, the two teams will kind of like choose a jury based on that. Here the facts show Juror 15 was decades younger than the individual on the jury panel list, raising questions as to whether they were the same or different people. Ms. Heard therefore requests the court investigate whether Juror 15 was probably a part of the Venoir and whether prior to jury service, Juror 15 verified his information in the manner prescribed. There has to be like an explanation for this. Because like how the takeaway that like, when you hear something like this, it's like, oh, someone pretended to be someone else so they can like get on this jury duty service so they can be in favor of Mr. Depp. But there has to be like there has to be something that happened. I don't know. We'll wait into more investigation. If they decide to investigate this, we'll have to wait for more information to come out. But like, I don't know, like, because I don't know how the jury selection duty works. But I'll probably have to just research it, and I'll get back to you guys on this one, okay? Ms. Heard further requests that this court take appropriate action based on the results of the investigation, including, if appropriate, ordering a new trial. Listen, I miss Judge Penny. I miss the court, but like, I don't want a new trial. Like, I don't know. Like, to go through it all over again, it's just like, oh God, that's a lot. For all the reasons said above, and for the reasons set forth on the record during the hearings and a trial, the motions in Lemaine, and motion to strike, Ms. Heard respectfully, she demands this court to set aside the jury verdict in favor of Mr. Depp and against Ms. Heard in its entirety. Holy, dismiss the complaint, or the alternative, order a new trial. Man, like, if this ends up being just like some overreach mumbo jumbo nonsense, like, this is just so disrespectful to the court, to the jurors, to everyone. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Jesus. Ms. Heard further requests this court to investigate potential improper juror service and take appropriate action warranted by the results of the investigation. Wow. Elaine Brederhoff. Okay, I'm gonna take some time. I'll read this whole damn thing because I want to see what else they were saying about, how the op-ed wasn't about him and how, Mr. Depp didn't prove that it's like $10 million worth of defamation and blah, 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 blah. So I definitely want to read that. But anyway, so I read the wrong thing. I read this. Defendants corrected transcripts, okay? I was reading this, which is 170 plus pages. And then this is the PowerPoint slide that Elaine made and attached to it. And I just thought it was interesting that they chose to correct this transcript because this transcript happened to contain a PowerPoint that had the text messages that Elaine and Amber were like, oh, it wasn't part of like the evidence, the judge wouldn't allow it in, and it would have been life-changing. So it's really interesting how they, like I said, this is just me being skeptical and kind of like, something fishy's going on, I think. I don't know. But yeah, this, because, people are going to click on it. You're going to be like, oh, what's this? What's this new thing? Let's read it. And then you look at the defendant's exhibit, This is the PowerPoint that we'll go over. Oh my god, this is 58 pages. Oh god. Combined total, I think this is like 400 pages worth of stuff that they've been working on. But like this is like a PowerPoint that Elaine made. It has pictures of like Laura Amber Heard. Here are the text messages that I guess was not admitted in the trial. And it's just like, this is so interesting that it decided to submit a corrected transcript. I don't know. Because it's as if they're trying to get people to find this. I mean, like, I already seen all this. I've already seen all the text messages. And especially, like, the ones that were admitted to the UK trial. There was, like, a file you can find on Depth Dive. I linked it on all my videos. It has all the text messages. Including the ones that, you know, where it was, like, Deuters was saying that, like, oh, you know, he's sorry. And he cried that, like, he kicked you on the airplane. And, like, some other text messages with, like, I don't know, maybe, like, the dad and stuff like that. But I think those evidence alone wasn't compelling enough. It's like, yeah, this could be important if there were other people backing up the story and more evidence, you know? But it just, on its own, it wasn't going to be a game changer in my opinion. So, yeah. Anyways. We'll look through this a different day. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in and stream really quick and just do a quick chat with you guys. Too long, didn't listen. Amber and her lawyers, they put in a new motion to basically tell the judge, like, hey, you know, like, Johnny Depp and his team, his evidence wasn't compelling enough for her to be paying him like $10 million. So he didn't really prove, that's what they're saying, that he didn't really prove that, you know, he was actually kicked off of being Jack Sparrow in the Disney movies as a result of the op-ed. Basically the same arguments all over again. And then also a new thing they brought up was they said that there is something weird going on with Jury 15. He was supposed to be born in 1945, but he was actually born in 1970. So it's like a 25 years discrepancy. I have to look into that as well. And they basically want the judge to either throw the case out, either throw the verdict out completely, or just do a new trial. Yeah. It's you know, the lawyers are doing lawyer things, you know? They're supposed to do stuff like this. But it's still crazy. It's still wild, you know? I really wish I could see Judge Petty's face. You know, when she got this on her, like, desk and she was just like, huh, what is this? You know, I wish I could see Judge Petty's face. So, yeah, guys, thanks for popping in. I do appreciate you guys saying hi. It was nice seeing you guys, you know? Thanks for hanging out. If you're new here, feel free to join the Discord. The link is down below. If you have anything related to this trial or any other news you want to share, post it in the Discord. I have like a depth and true crime section. You guys can post all the stuff on there. I usually go through it and then we'll talk about it on stream. So if there's anything you guys want to chat or discuss about, post it in there. And I do appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for popping on in. And I usually do get to talk to you guys back and forth a little bit more. But yeah, I was just kind of like rushing through this. So I'm so sorry. If you did miss this though, I'll upload this on YouTube. And yeah, bye guys.